Hi. It's grant writing season now. We're in the thick of it. We're in August, and it's definitely grant writing season because the funding agencies are coming out with their grant applications for you to apply, submit your proposal for funding, and you must submit your applications. You must submit your applications if you want to be an awardee from these funding agencies. So I just want to tell you that if you want to win one grant this year, you must apply for 10. If you want to win two grants this year, you must apply for 20. If you want to win three grants this year, you must apply for 30 grants this year. And so someone may ask, why that exorbitant amount? Why that large amount of grant applications? And so the reason is because grant funding is extremely competitive. It's extremely competitive. And if you listen to advisors that say to you, you must sit there and strategically figure out what type of grants to apply for and just focus your efforts on one or two or three grants. That's a bad idea and a bad strategy. Grant writing is a numbers game. Grant writing is a numbers game. You are looking for the very best circumstances of events to happen to you. So you are looking for the right opportunity at the right time with the right grant application. That is what you are looking for. So, in order for you to achieve that, for those things to align for you in a perfect scenario, which will result in a successful grant application, a grant award, you have to put a lot of grant applications out there into the hands of a lot of funding agencies so that when the right opportunity presents itself, you are prepared. You are there with your grant application, because you have to remember that there are so many things that are outside of your control. If you sit there and strategically and if you sit there and strategically wait for a funding agency, the right opportunity, the perfect funding agency, well, do you know what? That funding agency may run out of money by the time they get to fund your application. They may not have your focus area as their priority that year. You may make one simple mistake in your grant application, which causes them to reject you. And so, if you have two little sticks in the fire, that will result in a bad outcome for you for the rest of the year. And so it's a wasted year. So you don't want to waste the year. You want to aggressively pursue funding opportunities and apply for lots and lots and lots of grants because you are looking for that perfect opportunity. So it sounds painful to think that you have to do 10 grant applications this year if you want to win just one, or 20 if you want to win two, or 30 if you want to win three. That sounds really painful, right? So the thing about it, the way you need to look at it that will let you overcome the pain that you probably feel just thinking about applying for so many grants is, if you think that applying is painful, is going to be expensive, you should see when they give you the bill for not applying, for not putting yourself out there. It's going to be more painful for you to go after it and spend the time to go after massive amounts of grant funding opportunities than to really shy away from the volume of work that it takes to put into it to get yourself funded. So you must go after these applications. You must go after it. There is a principle that I read once, and the principle was this farmer had his field and he was sowing seed into his field, into his ground. And the story said that the farmer threw seeds all over his farm. And some of the seeds fell on hard ground. Some of the seeds, the birds came and picked it away. Some of the seeds actually germinated and became little flower, little plants, but the sun was so hot that it withered up the plants. But some of the seeds, a small amount of the seed actually did fall into good soil, and the conditions were so right. And so those seeds became successful and became plants. And that is a principle that is alive and well in the grant writing world. In order for you to have successful plants, successful grant awards, successful plants, you must sow a lot of seeds because you have to consider that some the birds will take away, some will be thrown on hard ground, some may germinate, but conditions are so severe that the plants won't become successful. So remember that principle, and that principle is alive in the grant writing world. So I remind you, if you want to win one grant this year, you must apply for 10. I know it sounds severe, but what people don't realize is that if someone is telling you anything different than that, they're probably not telling you the truth because the truth sounds hard. Because success is hard, success is difficult. It takes a lot of hard work to be successful. So people don't want to say that because they know that if they say something like that, it's going to be a very harsh and painful message to deliver. But I tend to be a little fearless. So I want to give you this information because it's very accurate. If you want to win one grant, you must apply for 10. If you want to win two grants, you must apply for 20. If you want to win three grants, you must apply for 30. You must do massive amounts of applications in order to achieve that perfect circumstance so that you can be successful. So at the end of the year, after grant writing season is all over and you've put in all of your work and then you're waiting for your harvest, test this theory and see if it was true, if it is true or not. Based on the amount of grants that you submitted for this year after the season is over, and you are reaping your harvest in another 3 to 6 months, see what your successful outcome was and see if this theory is true. So remember, if you want to be successful, you must do massive, massive, massive amounts of work. And if anyone else is telling you different, they're not being truthful. Okay, they don't want to give you the harsh reality of the situation, but I'm here to help you. I want to help you and I want to see you successful. In order for you to achieve success, you must do massive amounts of grant writing applications. So right away this grant writing season, get your applications in there, get your applications into the hands of the funding agency so that they can see you, showcase your organization, showcase your community, and set yourself up for success.